I don't think Hamas did any of this. It doesn't fit their persona at all to go around defiling women, especially with the reports, from Israel, from Israelis. An old man, when they came into his house and saw that he was an old man, told him to stay inside. And a woman that was a signals officer, she said they took all the guys as hostages and left me behind because I'm a woman. That was in the, I think it was the Israeli Times. It was definitely in one of the Israeli newspapers. So it doesn't fit the persona of, them going and then attacking and raping civilians. I'm not saying rapes didn't happen, though. I'm not saying that. We don't know what happened exactly until this whole thing's over.
Amar, since you're talking about body parts, I got a nice story to tell you. Sad, but true.
Getting a job.
It's about a 50-year-old woman
fat fucking retard who doesn't understand human nature or economics.
Had a guy and it hit his head, and she had blood all over herself.
How you doing, Daniel?
And his face. He went to the hospital. She's charged with
How you doing, Daniel?
Attempted murder in Pennsylvania.
Daniel, I know you're there. Daniel, I'm going to talk about how
I wonder what he did.
Macho Man Randy Savage is coming to WrestleMania.
Well, do you think he ever changed his position? Because he doesn't really have to do
WrestleMania.
Are you butthurt like Daniel is? Daniel is usually butthurt because he was attached to Edward. He used to call him honey.
Well, hold on. Ron, I'm justifying beheadings and gang rapes. I mean, are you sick? And intentional targeting of children. I'm justifying this? What planet are you on? Where I'm justifying the killing of civilians, of raping. What planet do you? I mean, you have to be on some other planet, some alien planet, to even think that I'm justifying anything like this, or anybody in this room that's it's been speaking that has justified anything like this. I mean, come on, you have to come with facts, not with what's in your head, based on racism, based on your talking points that you're giving out on flashcards. Just so you can defend the indefensible,
Okay, this is Amir and Edward, potential terrorists, call FBI.
Why would that even affect you, man, Edward? You just think something out of his ass. Just to get back at you.
No, so we know that there are civilians dying. See, this is where, Ron, you break down. When it comes to logic, you just break down. Okay? When facts hit logic, something happens to you. You short circuit, because we know civilians are dying in Gaza. Obviously, we know. Okay? We know that civilians died on October 7th, Israeli civilians. We know Hamas went in. Okay? We probably know that there were rapes that happened. The issue, and I say probably, is because of all the Israeli propaganda. It just puts things into it makes things questionable. We don't know exactly what happened on October 7th because it is controlled by the Israeli propaganda machine. And if you don't believe me, let me just land real quick, Amir.
Sure.
If you don't believe me, Ron, then look up the law that was enacted in January of this year, where it is illegal. You'll get 5 years in prison in Israel if you dispute the narrative of what happened, the government narrative of what happened on October 7th. Why would you have such a law? And also, why would you need propaganda? If Hamas did all these terrible things, then all of Hamas's actions would have spoken for themselves. Why would you need to pile on propaganda on top of it then? This is what doesn't make sense to me. Go ahead.
So I'm going to read, this is from the UN, right? The report acknowledged major difficulties, including lack of access to Gaza, where hostages were held, victims being killed, unidentified, or too traumatized to testify, forensic evidence being partial due to destruction at the attack sites, right? And Hamas said, they denied all these allegations. So this is where we have a problem, Netanyahu did everything in his power to freaking shut down the committee that was about to be set up to investigate the 7th of October. Yoav Gallant, which is the defense minister, before he got fired, he was pressing Netanyahu to investigate this whole thing on what happened on 7th of October. He even said about the hostage deal. He said we had a fucking hostage deal on the table in July. The only motherfucker that didn't accept it was Netanyahu. And and he said, "What the hell are we doing in Gaza?" This was reported in Times of Israel. You should look into it, Rohan. In this room we debunk all your bullshit claims, man. Hezbollah doesn't work anymore. Rohan. I wish it did, right? I mean, if I was on your side, I'd be like, okay, I'll be pushing that fucking narrative. But at one point, you gotta give it up. That narrative ain't working anymore. Even in Australia, it ain't working anymore, man.
I do agree with Rowan when he says, this wouldn't have, what's happening in Gaza, it would not have happened if it wasn't for Hamas going in, on October 7th. That was a catalyst. That's true. That's logical. That's cause and effect. However, Israel's responsibility of how it acts also determines what happens.
He said it's on
or
GoPro,
happened.
Edward. He said it's on GoPro.
Yeah. So everybody says the rapes are on GoPro. Where are these GoPro rapes? I've seen that comment.
You want to know something really funny? I'm guessing Rolo's Indian, right?
No.
Wait, his name is Rohan. He's from Australia.
What is it again?
Australia.
So Mikhail, no offense to Rohan, Mikhail calls him a kangaroo fucker because he lives in Australia.
That's
Okay, but
I think I call him that.
my example when it comes to Australia works even well for them because their own history even points out when they were rebelling against other foreign interests, right? The Australians weren't afraid or shy to use violence to get their own freedom and peace. And they go ahead in their own history books and call it victory and heroism, and that it was necessary. So it's rich for an Australian to go ahead and say that same shit about the Palestinians and saying that's terrorism when they did the exact same things several times over.
We still managed to put old Mr. Ferrari exactly where we want him. Did we?
No, I don't have anything better to do with my time. You see what you wrote, Amir?
Yeah, he said, do you have anything to do, nothing to do with your time, apart from hanging out with this low-life racist guy? I'm not racist, come on, what am I feeling? I'm not even a Jew hater, man.
My answer is no, I don't have anything better to do. You got that?
If I was a Jew hater, right, I would be saying shit about the Holocaust and denying the Holocaust, but I don't know, man. Even the person that coined the term, his name was Bill Maher. He coined the term anti-Semitic, right? But it doesn't make sense to me. This fucker married 3 Jewish women. How could a Jew hater marry 3 Jewish women unless he was Jewish?
Without a doubt.
Somebody that's a staunch, Jew hater. Why would you marry three Jewish women? There's something fishy there, man. There's always something fishy around Israel and these people that live in this land called.
And that's what he's thinking about.
He's
sitting in Modena, Italy.
Even Israelis go ahead and threaten Jewish people all the time. You don't even have to look into Israel. Actually, if you want to see who are the real anti-Semites in this world,
you actually might
look at the treatment of actual religious Jews in Israel, right? You will see that the Orthodox Jewish people are beaten or imprisoned anytime they advocate for their religion. That is by definition anti-Semitic, right? See the way that actual Jewish people are treated when they speak out or speak against any other, government entity, foreign entity, or how they're treated here in America by people who claim to be Israelis, right? As more anti-Semitic than anything else, and they point this out themselves. But all of a sudden, we're going ahead and saying, "Oh, it's anti-Semitic to be to be anti-Israel," when Israel has literally nothing to do with the Jewish religion as a whole. They just make up their own shit and then call it Judaism. But the actual people that follow it even reject Israel as a whole, and that's not anti-Semitic anymore. That's just bullshit on so many levels.
But Rolo, that land was promised to me from 3,000 years ago, so I am a Semitic person. Please don't call me anti-Semite, because that's like going against your own Jewish brother, okay?
Do you have your DNA test and lineage all figured out, Amir? Because without that,
Yeah, I'm sure it probably has 0.5%, Jewishness in my lineage, because it's been 3,000 years, right? So, of course, it's going to die down. So it's at 0.5%, I believe.
I want to get a DNA test.
I believe you, man. I believe you.
Even you too, you're from right next to it. You're like right there, around the corner. You're
Shalom, baby, shalom.
Can you explain
Always
how
been Jew. Once a Jew, always a Jew.
tariffs? Was there a
Hey guys. Oh, Leonidas.
Oh my
Is that me?
George.
I'm sorry.
I don't want you in here, bro. If you're gonna speak your bullshit, I don't want that.
I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Go
I'm a
donate
good
your sperm
boy.
in other
I'm a
rooms.
good boy. I'm very
Go
respectful.
donate your sperm in other rooms. I don't want your fucking sperm.
Wait, actually, he could donate it to Rolo, because all Rolo's talking about in the chat is just semen.
Yep. For some reason, you can talk to Rolo in the chat, George. Just tackle it. Go after him.
Oh my God, you're primate behavior.
My friend!
Oh no! Oh my God!
Don't say anything. Thank you.
Oh my God!
Reactive, because we're primates, right? Yeah, reptilian hindbrain that lights up.
Stop!
Someone challenges your status. Things we haven't come to terms with as an intellectual culture. So,
Okay. Period. Thank you.
How is this dude drunk again in the middle of the day?
Listen, don't get him started.
there's no hope. There's no hope. Sperm donor babies only.
Oh, there we go.
My children only. I'm sorry. There's no hope. My children only. Sorry. Bye.
Okay. Spurs.
All right.
What is it?
Okay.
Well,
Sit in the audience,
all
George.
kinds of
Thank
people
you.
on here.
Sit in the
This is the
audience.
weirdest.
I told you, I don't want to hear a single word about your disgusting sperm. Give it to Rohan. He's really thirsty for it.
How are we even saying? Okay, let's not talk about sperm. How is this even a sentence we're saying?
You have to be. He does it in every fucking room, bro.
I know. It's insane. It is. George, you really are. I won't say you're the worst person on here. I can't say that. No, I wouldn't. Not even close. Definitely.
At least he doesn't accuse us of being anti-Semite, Jew haters, or baby killers. He doesn't do that.
Semite.
Demonite, yeah, anti-Semite.
He doesn't demonize us,
He doesn't.
Yeah, so George,
I didn't get it.
let me bring up Zach. He's entertaining. Zach, come on up.
Oh, by the way, I just wanted to mention this because I was kind of listening to news before getting in here. There's I've been looking at a lot of far-right news outlets recently, and a lot of them have been talking about Epstein in many various ways, which has been very interesting so far. Do you guys know who Charlie Kirk is? Yeah, okay. So Charlie Kirk's far-right political party had a conference that also had Steve Bannon in there, where they talked about the Epstein files and how important it was for the Trump base and the MAGA base. And mind you, the MAGA base and the Trump base are more like the biggest conspiracy theorist people we have here in America. And they had booed the crap out of anyone who went ahead and tried to say anything otherwise about the Epstein case. And they addressed something with Epstein where they were talking about his ties with Israel. And it's interesting that at that point, is getting picked up because a lot of the MAGA supporters who are really pissed off said this. They said Epstein, it wasn't about just taking down a pedophile, it was also about taking down the people who govern us. And the MAGA support base has been holding on to three key details. Who the elites are, the deep state, and how he is tied with Israel. And they're not letting any of those 3 points go. And they're starting to make this a huge issue to where they're starting to be a political shift where every single Republican, every single Democrat, any single politician that even speaks in the favor of hushing up people about Epstein, they're like, people are just going to throw them out unilaterally. Doesn't matter which political party, they will be thrown out of office if they even mention this kind of idea. So now the question has become, especially from the far right outlets and the far right like think tanks, if this problem is as big as the far right is making it out to be, what would be the next course of action? How do you correct something that's already going downhill? And third of all, what do we do about Israel? Because Israel has now become the main talking point in the far right circles about they don't want any involvement with Israel anymore. They're starting to get sick of this entire shit, especially with the last couple of months. And this Jeffrey Epstein has blown it up even more. And then some of them have even talked about the fact that they'd rather vote for a socialist. They were referencing basically Zohar Mamdani. They would rather vote for a socialist that actually cares about staying in the country and helping the country get better than someone who just wants to be a dog for Israel, right? These are the key points that we're taking away from a couple of the news outlets I was kind of bringing or listening to today.
Yep. What's up with you, Zach? What's going on with you?
What's up? I'm cooking my dinner.
You cooking your dinner? What do you making?
Hello, mi amigo.
I'm gonna have a lot of broccoli.
All right.
With butter?
Let me turn on the
Just
hand
salt.
raising. George is gone. George, don't come up, man. Otherwise, I have to move you down again.
Also, what was it, Zach, I guess is your name, is you do realize Charlie Kirk has tried to advocate for him to himself to be like the best person to be a Jew
I don't
ally.
think he doesn't know who Charlie Clerk is. Do you know who Charlie Clerk is, Zach?
I believe it is Charlie Kirk.
Do you know him?
I know him more than you do.
Have you personally met him?
I do not have never personally met him.
Oh, God. I thought you personally met him.
No, but I said in the audience, I like him. I thought I like him. I like parts of what I've seen him say. But then Caleb explained to me that he is a Christian evangelist or whatever who believes in the second coming and supports Israel for stupid reasons.
So you know one thing I don't get, Zach? Why are these people, they strongly believe in, genociding the Jewish community, right? Because of their end times, right? Why are these people given like a free pass? Here, you could say anything against Israel because you're a supporter of Israel and still talk shit about the Jews and whatever. They're given like the free, pass. But as soon as other people, when they speak on Israel, what Israel's doing, criticizing it, why are we called anti-Semite? You see the problem there? Even though you have one party, during the end times, they want to genocide you, 50% of you, and then they want to, either convert you to Christianity or whatever.
I hear you, but
They get a free pass.
I think this is a Caleb question. This is a religious question that I'm not very well versed in, so I'm not the person to answer this question.
And I meant getting.
Caleb, write it out in the chat. Why do they get a free pass? And me as a Jew person from 3,000 years ago, and I don't get the free pass. Well, why is that? I have like 0.5% Jewish blood in my running right now in my bloodstreams.
Okay, what does when
He
Romo
says that
said?
he doesn't give you the free pass, so he's a fan.
George, you came up again, bro. Fuck, I'm gonna move you down.
Amir or anybody else?
Amir,
what
don't
does
disrespect me. Please.
What does when Romo says Edward at Edward carrot carrot? What does that mean?
I'm deaf, okay?
I don't give them a free pass.
I think Rolo's still talking about semen.
What's that mean though? What does that mean? Edward at Edward carrot carrot. What does that mean?
The Rolo is not here.
No, but what is it's a texting thing.
He's referring to the comment above.
So, what's it mean though? It means that Edward, I'm including you in this comment.
Yes, your
Okay.
father should have swallowed.
Okay, that's right. That means okay.
Can someone ping Rolo in here again? We need to, maybe tell him something about the signal. George, go after Rolo. He wants you to see.
Come on, loosen up. You're on vacation like everybody says.
Well, you have to start with George. Amir.
Bro, this guy keeps talking about semen. Like right now, he's about to say this.
Don't bring it up. Don't bring semen
Yeah,
up.
even Fawad doesn't like you, George.
George, you are
Person,
definitely
just stop talking about the semen bullshit and religion. We don't care about your religion belief or semen bullshit. Anyway, Zach, what do we do about people like that, like George? He always talks about semen now.
Hey, that's for me to know and Oliver Stone to find out.
Well, sperm, not semen, and he wants to spread it across the Levant because he's a genius, and the world deserves genius children.
So, Zach, from your paradigm, do you think that the Israelis have played a large role in defending Epstein and trying to hide the files from the public, Zach? Zach, are you there?
I can't really talk right now, I guess, but I'm just available to listen here.
No, why are you actually on stage? I'm confused.
No, is that?
No, General, I'm turning down your invitation. Thank you, though, but I would say I'm flattered, but
You want to come on up, General? Come on up, and if you want to come on up, Zach went down in the audience. I think he got tired. So
What do you think's going on?
This guy said if I used one of his songs.
Welcome, sit down, everyone.
Hey, here I go again.
I was just checking to see if I went viral.
what is going on with the General?
Not too bad. How are you? How's our
Fawad is doing good. Fawad Jalani is doing good. Normal's not here. As soon as I bring Fawad in here, he runs.
That's a shame.
Rolo was here. Rolo called me Fawad. So and then now we finally have Fawad in the room. I don't know.
Yeah, he thinks that's your name.
Yep.
It is his name.
Edward, what were you saying? Sorry.
Edward left, I think. Yeah, he left.
Oh, he left. Right.
I don't know. I think he was saying something. I don't know when he.
He's in and out all the time.
Oh yeah, he's probably busy. Anyways, what you been up to, General? You good? You busy?
Somewhat, yes. Life is a lot more productive when you don't tolerate Zionists.
That's true. It's true. The Zionists or something else, man. It's just,
No, it's just mind-numbing, unfortunately.
Did you hear about a whole bunch of Zionists crying about the new Superman movie?
What is actually going on with the Superman thing?
So apparently, it first turned into a whole immigrant thing, but now that people have watched it, apparently there's a couple of scenes where Superman is taking down a big bad country, an entity that has all the weapons and powers in the world, and is using that weapons and powers to basically genocide a very poor and starving population.
Oh wow.
Now you can see the influence of Israel in Palestine, and he basically kills Netanyahu, is what people are saying. James Gunn's like, no, I wrote this before the whole Middle East stuff or whatever, but a bunch of Zionists are saying it's anti-Semitic, they're pissed off, all that stuff, whatever. And a bunch of people around the world that hate the Zionists are just now mocking and saying, oh, look at you, Netanyahu is basically dying in that movie. So it's kind of funny. But it literally means nothing, though. They're just making something out of nothing.
I definitely have to watch this movie now. I'm gonna have to look into it.
Oh, I definitely want to watch it too.
Yeah, because it's hurting their ego. I think I gotta watch it now. Daniel, do you like that movie as well, or you hate it? No. Did you guys see what Elmo wrote on Twitter?
Right. That's why I've been spamming Elmo.
That was sickening, man. Caleb, what do you think about what Elmo wrote? Do you think he's anti-Semite? Let's say if he supports Israel, and he says these type of things, would he get a free pass? At this moment, I think anybody that supports Israel and says anything against Israel, they will be like, yeah, we could take you as an ally. That's
Well,
what
what
it is.
is it, a guilty conscience? Pricks the mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, guilty conscience pricks the mind. That's what's happening with the Superman.
You know, Delulu asked him multiple times, so a normal black rabbi, can you pray against the oppressor in that land? They do not want to do that. Because they know deep down that these people are oppressing the Palestinians.
No, I even did that too. Oh man, Black Rabbi was the worst when it came to that question.
I just said Nurgis cooked him, I cooked him. I mean, he gets cooked, and I think you cooked him earlier in the day.
Who cooked him? Nuggets cooked him as well?
Yeah, Nurgis cooked him.
Damn.
Yeah.
I cooked him yesterday because he got caught trying to promote a scam NFT.
He has no self-respect, does he then?
He doesn't. He was.
Like he comes here, gets humiliated, then comes back the next day for more.
Not only that, like right now, a whole bunch of Israelis genuinely hate him because, if I'm not mistaken, again, this is just coming from my friends, but he started.
Harry. That's the same thing here where I live here in Texas, not in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but they were telling people to stay away, whether
like Piper, and but you know it's just on social
Crimson,
media.
what you're not understanding is just Piper is a fundamentally silly human being. Piper thinks that having no government is gonna work. That just people are gonna live in fucking kumbaya with no government.
Yeah. Like,
you know that we've tried to get hunter-gatherer tribes that don't have a government. They have murder rates, as in death by another human rates, that are higher than Germany during World War II. They kill each other at extremely high rates in hunter-gatherer tribes. It's very stupid to think that when humans have no system of government in place, that they act really peaceful. Because what reliably happens is you have someone who hurts you, and no one will prevent that from happening. There's no deterrent system. So then you have to deter them yourself. So then you have to signal a reputation for violence, which then causes when people threaten you and say you are not a person who will defend yourself with violence, you have to be violent against them to signal that you do defend yourself.
And it devolves to might makes right, which is exactly what he's impugning Israel for doing right now. So I take with a very serious regard the saying that liberalism, or at the very least extreme liberalism, is a mental disorder. But what can you do? Piper doesn't even have to do that. He can just go visit Brazil. Go to Brazil at a moment where there's riots and all that, and see how long it lasts. See if he makes it out with all four limbs.
So there's a couple things. So the thing about human nature is fucking stupid. And I actually brought this up about the hunter-gatherer murder rates.
Piper had no idea.
Rowdy Piper. I'm telling you. Please, man.
Listen, Daniel, you're going down. You're going down, brother. Listen. No, but Piper said that Piper didn't.
Taylor Greene has said it, and it's because they're just not educated. You don't need to meet, laugh out loud with your APAC handler as they could. You just need to open up a fucking book or have actually somebody working for you that can teach you this stuff. Because I don't expect somebody who says, I've never met a Houthi in a Walmart in Georgia, as that's a response as makes any sense when you have 3 people that died with the U.S. soldiers that are from Georgia. So you shouldn't have said that when they were killed literally by the Houthis. So, and we lost 2 Navy SEALs. So these are moronic things to say if you want to be in a position of leadership. If you want the leadership, then every citizen, military or otherwise, doesn't matter where they serve, are your citizens. And if they're getting killed by certain individuals and you don't understand why the Houthis are a problem for global trade and everything else involved with America, you don't stupidly say and then wonder why you're getting primaried, including Massey, by the way. Massey was just endorsed by Bill Gates' son, and he donated money to him. But you're getting primaried because you're a moron and you're not learning that you also have people that are part of the military and we're not supported. For 4 years under Biden, actually they were harmed in so many ways. It's shocking to me that there's not an investigation off their leadership, but that's a different point. My point is you need to understand, because we have military all over the world, and they're never not going to be U.S. military all over the world, despite what people think or want. Okay, because then we're done for. So
well, that's what I heard from the influencers, the big mouths that are running big spaces. Is like, I'm just anti-war. I'm just anti-war, and it just baffles me that we can't even explain to them like what is actually happening. They're just going to shut it down. And I think
every single person, including every military guy, is anti-war. That's not the point. The point is there
there's a difference between anti-war and being a pacifist, right? I think here specifically there's a growing sense where, again, it's a domestic narrative. None of those individuals who are going on and on about being anti-war have served in the military. And I'm talking about, again, pacifists, right? I'm talking about people like Dave, the comedian, who goes out and plays as if he's, this libertarian / conservative, who always supports the right, who was super supportive of Trump, but everybody knows that he was
asked
never
for the
supportive.
impeachment of Donald Trump 2 weeks ago, very publicly, and that's been posted on a podcast.
For the same thing during the Democrat attempt to impeach Trump. So we're talking here about individuals who are very unstable in their line of thought. They have certain aspirations, domestic aspirations. They have no clue about foreign policy, to include Tucker Carlson. I really don't think that Tucker Carlson knows much about foreign policy. Everything they do comes from a prism of narratives, right, that have to do with domestic issues. And it goes back to the days when Tucker Carlson was at Fox, where he spoke about the necessity to obliterate Iran because it was a bad actor, yada, yada, yada. And the only reason he said that was because of the environment he's in. And therefore, he is very adjusted to the environment he's in. He's currently in an echo chamber, so to speak, or an ecosystem of libertarians, and I'm not going against every libertarian because there are different levels to this, right? But this is a group of libertarians who are Marxist in essence, support the enemy in every single foreign conflict. And I ask myself, if you're taking the side of the adversaries of the United States of America in every possible place, and you go against every possible ally and partner of the United States around the globe, what does it say about you? I And that is a question everybody needs to ask in America.
Go ahead, Zebras. And then I'll say something. Go ahead, Zebras. Go ahead, Zebras.
Yes.
Can you guys hear me? Can Zebras hear me?
He's not on the
I hear
phone.
you, not Zebras. He's a listener.
I'm listening.
I see his hand up. Let me recycle him. Hold on. So my response to that is to subvert TQSA, which it has. I'd like to know if Tucker intentionally, because Caroline explained contracts. I want to know if there's an intentionality to harm TQSA, to stop the donors, to stop the ability for them to recruit for midterms, to stop their ability to have a groundman, to sour, as I group of people from the ground, like real players from the ground, who have reached out privately and in the space, they've been to the space. Hold on. Sorry, people can't control their kids. And explain the demoralization that was occurring and the confusion that was occurring from the adults in the room, so to speak.
Yeah, Jonathan, I'm just curious why they appoint Tom Barrack as the ambassador to Turkey and the representative to Syria and Lebanon. What are the connections?
So the official envoy to Lebanon, he does deal with Lebanese portfolio at this moment because
because Morgan Ortagus is no more. Because Morgan Ortagus is no longer there. And Gulen
right, but he hasn't been specifically appointed. What I will say is that Turkey, despite being ideologically maligned, so to speak, in the context of Western civilization, very problematic in times, it is essential for Western civilization that it remains part of the Western fold, particularly in light of the Phosphorus, Strait of Phosphorus, and so it is basically the strait, in layman's terms, for those not familiar with it, that establishes the connectivity between the Mediterranean, GSP, and the Black Sea to Russia, right? So from NATO's perspective, which NATO is basically the United States plus, it wants to control that specific strait. That specific strait under the 17th and 19th article of the Belgrade Accord indicate that that Turkey has control over whether or not naval assets, military naval assets, can transit through the strait during times of war. And therefore, at a time when Russia is currently engaged in war with the West through Ukraine,
which is why people are surprised
Turkey
when
has
someone
been
breaks the rule and actually
steadfast
uses
in
it.
blocking Russia from transiting its naval assets from the Black Sea into the Mediterranean Sea. So that is, from America's perspective, essential, right? From NATO's perspective, essential. And therefore, territorially speaking, Turkey is essential for the West, but at the same time, Turkey has been for a long time very frustrated with the West, particularly with Europe, but also with the United States, over feeling like the left-out actor. Because of its malign behavior, it doesn't think that it should still be pushed back on. Because of its Islamist Muslim Brotherhood affiliations. And therefore, in recent years, it has been making strides in the direction of deepening its collaboration with China. And one of the concrete fears was, and justifiably so, is that what would happen if Turkey now abandons NATO and moves in the direction of China and starts operating in that sphere of influence. Naturally, fiscally speaking, there is no added value for Turkey to do that. But in light, specifically because of the Chinese economy is failing. but we do need to understand that on the one hand, Turkey has signed the Sea and Port Initiative and Belt and Road Initiative of China, meaning that it's fully integrated with the Chinese in that essence. It is building right now and in very, very fast pace of development of various trade routes and really building a very significant connector between Turkey and China. So it wants to become the terminal, so to speak, of the whole world from east to west. What in the past, historically speaking, used to be Syria, right? The Silk Road, so to speak, coming from China to the west ended in Aleppo, or rather in the eastern parts of Syria, but Aleppo was the gateway basically to travel from the Byzantine Empire eastward towards the Silk Road and then towards China. So that is a very significant aspect that the Turks have been very vigorous about. They have been also infuriated with IMAC, the connector during the Biden administration, the G7 that occurred at the time in New Delhi, India. They wanted to establish a connector between India, going through the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, into Jordan, from Jordan to Israel, Israel to the Greek Cypriot island, the unoccupied territory on the southern part of Cyprus, since the northern part is occupied by Turkey, and then from there into Italy and Greece, and then into the European continent. Turkey saw that as basically is aiming to achieve.
Break it up, Jonathan.
So because Israel is going to be the IMEC partner and not Turkey,
24-hour brisket, 20-pound no-trim brisket. It's a big, hard piece of fat right here. This is going to be hard to render down, but we'll find out. No-trim briskets can result in more moisture in the brisket and should be more tender. Lava is the binder. Here we got a mixture of our cow rub, dirt, and maple bourbon. Giant piece of meat, so we're going heavy on the seasoning here, guys. This is like 5 inches thick as this part. Onto the smoker at 225, we're doing fat side down. 12 hours in, we're taking it off, we're wrapping it. It's 165 internal. A bunch of beef tallow on there, they're going to cover it, butcher people. Back on the smoker, wake up in the morning, so we're at. I accidentally slept until 10 a.m., came down, brisket's at 210 degrees, but I still got hope. We're going to let it rest for 4 hours before. It was definitely a little too tender because I let it cook too long in my sleep, but it was still extremely juicy because we did not trim it at all. Flat. Brisket is definitely the hardest thing to cook perfectly in barbecue.
Fearing a potential coup, and coups in Turkey usually begin in the military, specifically in the Air Force, right? So whoever controls the Air Force ultimately controls Turkey. Which an abundance of. America didn't want one to sell them the Patriot missiles without the safeguards, so to speak. So there are certain safeguards in American-aid systems that do not permit a NATO member to intercept the aircraft of a NATO ally, so to speak. So there are all kind of things like that, and therefore the Turks decided to go and produce their own surface-to-air missile capabilities. These have not really matured as successfully, but nonetheless, they do have the Russian S-400 systems, which are very sophisticated, very capable systems. Some say they're even better than the Patriot systems, but nonetheless, that was what caused the Trump administration to strip Turkey from the F-35 stealth aircraft program, which is the multi-role aircraft capable of both air-to-air combat as well as air-to-ground combat.
Which they're now trying to weasel their way back into.
Right, yeah. Without relinquishing the S-400s, which is very dangerous, right? And
yeah, but Jonathan, what do you think? What do you think about Tom Barrack saying we're going to resolve the F-35 issues at the end of the year?
Well, Tom Barak is a nutshell to crack. He's a shrewd diplomat on the one hand, but on the other hand, you need to keep in mind that he is Armenian, and he is quite clear-eyed about Turkey, but he's also a businessman. And in business,
he's Turkish and Lebanese, no?
Yeah, he's from Zahli, he's Lebanese. He's Catholic Lebanese, he's not Armenian.
He's Catholic? Okay. So I was under the impression that he's half Armenian from Turkey. But anyways, the point is, he is a very shrewd businessman. He is very conflict resolution type of diplomat, and he's very good at it. A certain actor on board, you keep praising them in the Middle East. I mean, Zigos knows this. The manner in which you talk to Turks matters, and giving them honor beyond what they actually deserve will bring you a lot farther than what people realize. Irrespective of whether or not it's true, that is something very culturally inclined in Turkey, right? And Turkish people are great people, but they're very sensitive to that honor sense of we the Ottomans, we the ones who ruled and were an empire and conquered so many previous empires, including subdued the Byzantine Empire. There's a very strong sense of pride in that. And just to put things in perspective, it is so strong to the point where they don't even educate their young about the losses of the Ottoman Empire in World War I. They don't speak about it. It's not part of their education system, believe it or not, right? Despite the fact that
in and of itself are philosophical discussions. My problem.
What Piper means by communism is not communist Russia, or the Soviet Union or whatever,
in which country?
He said it! The economies!
Yeah, he said the Federal Reserve. In the United States, the Federal Reserve dictates the policy for how much money is to be printed.
No, Congress does, not the Federal Reserve.
That's
everybody in the world. The Eurodollar system prints it.
That's a very basic misunderstanding.
No, it's not. Outside of the United States, the whole world prints the dollars on demand. The commercial banking system.
It sounds like you don't understand that.
Actually, I do.
You really don't.
Much better than you.
First year economics.
No, I do. I do understand economics much better than you.
I promise you don't. It's my job, and a first year economics student would not make the argument.
No, you don't.
Google is your friend.
I just checked ChatGPT, and apparently the Eurodollars is a myth.
What you said is the most retarded argument I've ever heard. You have no idea what you're talking about. You're spewing propaganda, my guy.
But you do realize anyone with any argument can say what you just said, right? So it's kind of stupid to just keep repeating that instead of making an argument.
It's not an argument, it's a fact.
Exactly. You're not making an argument.
It's nonsensical and retarded.
But you're not making an argument, and I am. So it's
I am. My argument is that you have no idea what you're talking about.
But anyone can say that. That's a stupid line of law.
Because anyone would be right about you.
Shane, you gotta say stupid.
You're stupid, Shane.
No, Andrew, he's saying you're stupid.
Does anyone have a real argument or no?
Shane,
you
don't even know who prints
Mark
the dollars.
Mark Carney is a central banker, and he's from the Bilderberg Group, so he's going to fail when he tries to bring in Agenda 2030.
By the way, Shane, look at my eyes. I am the new Bilderberg Group. You understand that? I am the new Bilderberg.
It would be a good place to start to understand that.
Jimmy, your buddy Brad, he's also new. Dave is new.
Good luck with that. I would start with an economics.
My guy, I have better economic degrees than you do.
You don't understand how the system works on a very basic level.
No, I understand it better than you.
Okay, brilliant.
What if you found out he was 100x richer than you? Would you say he knew something you didn't?
I would say he likely started a very successful company of some kind and figured something out. About certain things, for sure, about whatever business he's in.
You would say he got lucky.
No, not at all. Everyone has specific knowledge. What the fuck is that noise? Everyone has specific knowledge. I'm just speaking on my own, which is economics based. Obviously, there's people that know lots of things I don't know. I'm not so arrogant to think that's not.
Inflation is monetary insidiousness always and everywheres.
Yo, Shane, do you know what the dollar milkshake theory is?
No, hit me with.
You're the economics guy. You're supposed to know.
The milkshake theory? No, I haven't heard of that.
Hey, Shane, I got a question for you. Shane, if you stuffed the dollar in a mattress, Shane, if you stuffed the dollar in a mattress 100 years ago, what would be its purchasing power today?
Do you think I'm against investing? I'm literally an asset manager. What's your point?
It's a question. It's a question.
Obviously, it would be like very low.
Wait,
what's your point?
Do you think
crypto asset manager, or
do you think people stuff their dollars in a mattress all this time?
I mean, I originally joined this chat to like try to give you guys some information on the long-term side in terms of which parts of the market outperform others, which I'm objectively very good at.
Bitcoin outperforms.
I was literally just trying to share.
Bitcoin is better than you. You suck.
What do you think about?
I'm just trying to literally help.
Do you think
Bitcoin
NFTs are good to invest
outperforms
in?
you or anything you got to say? What can you say to that?
Wait, Andrew, you're not an asset manager. I'm asking Shane. Shane's an asset manager. Are NFTs worth looking at, do you think?
No, I used to actually had an NFT like startup at one point, but we gave away the NFTs. We didn't sell them.
Well, that was retarded.
But I think no, it actually was pretty. You guys, it was literally a crypto trading like thing. You guys have no idea who you're talking to. I've been very deep in this world.
Shane, we don't give a shit about who we're talking.
You can look it up. You can literally look me up.
Shane, we don't. I'm not going to.
So I'm not against crypto. So all these line of logic is stupid.
Nothing. You are not going to outperform Bitcoin, my guy. There's nothing you can tell me. Nothing.
Do you understand what risk-adjusted return means?
Shane, there's nothing you can tell me. Do you understand the significance or insignificance of that?
I don't care. I'm not against Bitcoin, as I said at the start.
There's no evidence on ChatGPT that Shane Ely did NFTs.
You are worth nothing, Shane. There's nothing you can say that's valuable.
Shane Ely did.
Brad, if you want to look it up. Yeah, hey Brad, if you want to look it up, in the NFT world, they use Discord names, not real names, obviously. I'm hesitating to say my thing on here because I feel like you guys are going to attack it. But
did better than
it was SN Wealth. I was a moderator in Wall Street Bets.
Shane, nobody cares. Nobody cares. As soon as you leave the room, we will forget about you.
Suck my dick, bro.
Shane, we will forget about you.
I'm responding to the question.
Step out of this room.
You guys asked a question. I'm responding.
Oh shit, SN Wealth? That's you?
Look up Enigma Labs, which was the name of the startup. And you can also look at my credentials. I currently have assets under management. How much do you guys manage? How much do you guys manage?
How much crypto assets under management?
Andre, how many families' wealth do you manage, Andre? I'm just curious.
Andrew, not Andre.
Who the fuck is Andre?
Andrew, sorry.
Oh, Andrew? I manage my family stuff. I don't need to manage anybody else's shit.
I'm willing to bet a good amount of money that Andrew by himself.
I'm worth more than you. I'm worth more than you.
I bet you he manages.
I'm willing to bet that Andrew's net
not only am I worth more than you, but my dick is bigger than yours too.
I'd be willing to bet that's not the case.
Oh my God. It is.
Shane, PTR the photo.
What did you say, sir?
Why do you think his name is Andrew Moon? His dick is so big it hits the moon.
All right, we're all ready. Come in here telling us about how you are not knowing anything about anyone you're talking to. It's amazing. You're ignorant.
What's gonna happen?
Do you understand? I joined simply to have a. I don't care. I'm not a coward.
You came here to educate us and let us know.
Not at all. I came here to have a rational discussion.
What you said.
Do you understand? I care about the people in the audience, and if even one or two diversifies.
Rationality, my guy. You fail.
You don't think we care about the people?
You guys are just not listening to what I'm saying. I'm clearly coming from a good intention to try to help. I'm not saying I know everything, and you guys don't.
Give us 3 picks.
We don't care about your name. We don't care about your degree.
Seriously,
we've had nothing.
Dudes.
Hold on, let's hear this out.
But I've also been very respectful despite all the personal attacks, and I'm simply trying to have a rational conversation.
Okay, listen. Give us 3 picks that's better than Bitcoin. Go ahead.
Again, my original argument was that
No, this is a new argument. Go ahead.
But I don't disagree that Bitcoin is a good bet, so it's a pointless question to ask.
Okay, give us 3.
But that's not I'm not arguing that there's no sense better than Bitcoin. That's not what my point was.
A pointless question is doing exactly what you're accusing others of doing. So you're a piece of shit.
I literally agree with what he's saying, so challenging me with that topic makes no sense, Andrew. Can you comprehend that?
Were you a mod of Wall Street Bets, Andrew? Checkmate.
The point with mentioning that was to say I obviously like stocks and crypto. I'm not I'm just trying to share and learn from you guys as well. Obviously, I'm not saying I have all the.
Have you heard of ISO 2021 protocol?
ISO 20022.
Oh yes, thank you. We thank you for your correction. Have you heard of that? What's your name? Shane. There you are. Yeah, Shane. Have you heard of that?
Have I heard of what?
ISO 20022.
No, I have not heard of that. Is that a code or a bylaw or something?
Hello.
Anyways, I think I'm making pretty logical points here, and I'm not really arguing against Bitcoin. So the fact that you guys are just going straight to the personal attacks is kind of pathetic, to be honest. You
did say things that are super retarded. One of the things that you mentioned was there's an opportunity for another nation to replace the U.S. dollar as the world reserve currency, and you did not.
That's a very well-known fact. That's a universally understood fact.
It's not a fact. It's a falsehood.
Look, Shane.
Trend lines. If the trend line is down, something would have to reverse the path.
Just pause for a second. After World War II, where did the financing come from to rebuild Europe? Where did the money come from?
It came from the Allies who made the investment, generated a return. Does this have something to do with what I was saying?
Where's the money coming from, right?
What? I don't understand the question. Where was the money coming from? It was coming from the Allies countries.
You're pretending.
The Allied governments.
You just can't say.
I answered it though. The Allied government.
After World War II, okay, so think of it this way. After World War II, United States
it's like this. Your daddy is United States.
The United States was able to print money unencumbered for decades, 50 plus years.
Agreed.
Monopoly. Nobody else. And so there's so many U.S. dollars in the system that for you to replace it you would need the same conditions.
Okay.
To be able to print unencumbered, like only game in town for 50 plus years. Those conditions won't exist for anyone else.
I understand.
And if if you're ever a nation that starts to print enough to have enough supply to like settle all global trade, nigga, you'll inflate the shit out of your currency, and you're basically out of here.
Yeah, I'm not arguing. To be clear, see, Andrew's just filibustering. Can I respond, Andrew? Before you come off with your ignorance, can I respond to Jimmy, please? Jimmy, what?
You're already talking. Let's finish talking.
Guys.
It's very easy. It's 3 letters. You can just say USA. I know you struggle with it, but it's gonna.
Hey, can I respond?
Weight off your shoulders if you say USA.
Okay, to be clear, Jimmy and Andrew, I'm not saying the USA is going to go into the shitter. What I'm saying is they're not going to be number 1 on planet Earth forever. I think it's extremely arrogant to think that nothing will ever evolve. No economy will ever evolve. It might outlast us, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying they're going in the wrong direction in terms of as a proportion
of the Roman Empire. Yeah, how long did the Roman Empire go on for?
The Roman Empire didn't exist in a time of monetary policy, so it's literally an irrelevant data point. It's totally irrelevant.
They had monetary policy, my guy.
Not modern monetary policy.
It wasn't modern, but they had
our version of it.
You can say I don't know.
It's a very specific number.
Shane, I believe that we're so far ahead as a country that the only
I understand what you're saying.
Only entity that I can envision the only entity that I can envision Americans being sort of checkmated by would be Americans that have colonized another planet.
By the way, Shane, I have to share some very unfortunate data.
Let me respond first.
One of your earlier points. No, really, I gotta get this data off. This is from the earlier discussion.
Yeah,
no, I'm declining. So listen. Here. You said that Canada is much safer than the U.S. and the survey says that is not true. So here's the data. Since Trudeau first was elected to office, there has been a 44% increase in violent crime in Canada from 2015 to 2024. From 2015 to what the fuck is that? From 2015 to 2024, Canadian violent crime rose by 44%. It's now settled in at 400 and...
Is this a comparison to the U.S.? Or are you talking about us?
I'm talking about Canada, and then I'm going to compare the U.S. So Canada is at 434 violent crimes per 100,000 population. The U.S. has decreased from 2015 to 2023. In 2015, we were at 373 violent crimes per 100,000, so still below you. And now we're at 363 per 100,000.
So what do you think is causing the difference in average lifespan if Canada is not safer as everyone believes?
It doesn't matter. You're shifting.
Why do we live?
Well, you are. Yeah, I mean, you got to deal with that. You got to deal with that data point.
I am. I'm saying if we acknowledge that's it, I'm taking that for. Andrew, are you intimidated? Or
you're shifting it to another point. It's called whataboutism.
It's not at all. I'm saying our original conversation was about quality of life. I'm saying Canadians live longer.
I just busted your stats and claims, and you're beginning to shift it to something else. What about this?
I'm not.
What about that?
I'm saying I'm taking it for granted that is correct. And now I'm moving to a separate point. These are two different things, so just keep up here.
Okay, so
I'm agreeing with what you're saying.
So you're admitting that Canada is a more violent place than the U.S.?
No, not at all.
Well,
what I'm
that's
saying
that's what the data shows.
That's retarded.
The data shows it is a more violent place.
The United States has significantly more rural areas, which are safer than city populations. Canada is more urban than the United States, and there are many other factors that go into it. My question to you:
I think technically you have more rural areas than we do.
Yeah, but it's uninhabited. If we live 9 years longer than you do, which I think it's about something like that, 8 or 9 years, you can fact check me. On average, why is that?
Those are broke years, my nigga. So
Yeah, I don't think it's that high.
These extra
I don't
broke
think it's that
ass
high.
years.
What? Not at all. Our seniors are not broke. We have social programs that keep them in good.
No, I think it is true that Canadians live about. It's 5 years, by the way. They live 5 years.
That's a long time
on average. Yeah, they live 5 years on average longer.
You claim 9, first of all.
Pretty sure it's like 7 or 8.
We would have bought you.
They live 5 years on average.
5 and 9.
On average longer.
So why is that?
The two main factors. Hold on, real quick. The two main factors, in my opinion, are there are higher incidences of drug overdose in the United States, and there are higher incidences of obesity in the United States, both of which are lower in Canada.
Okay, fair enough. And those two things are the result of systems, obviously. So that would lend to the fact that our systems are set up better, right?
Well, I think it kind of. Well, yeah. I do believe Canada has lower. They have more harm prevention related to drugs, and I probably think you guys have a safer, less obesogenic food supply than we do, which is something that we need to change.
Wait, didn't they just legalize euthanasia? I think they're gonna catch up.
They did. I think it actually the stat shows that America is just decadent. Like we're just so decadent. We're so bad.
It is. If you
we love drugs and stuff in our face. Yeah.
Yeah, we can afford more foie gras than you.
We're rich. Yeah.
Yeah, you can afford more foie gras, but 40% of your population can't afford healthy food. That's a fantastic system. You're right.
You are more likely to die by a violent crime in Canada, though.
There's no way that's true.
It is true. I just gave you the data.
I'm looking it up right now. There's no way.
Go ahead. I did it via Chat GPT, so it's aggregated data. So if you'd like to use Chat GPT, you can fact check it for yourself.
Here's Chat GPT from 2004.
Chat GPT is American. Hold on. Okay.
From 2000
American.
You gotta give them the time frame, Otto.
Here's the Fraser Institute, which is
I gave him 2000. Yeah, I said since Trudeau was my claim. And since Trudeau, Canadian crime is at 44%.
Okay, you're right, and I don't like Trudeau. But what I'm saying is, compared to the United States, since from 2004 to 2022, Canadian metropolitan areas saw an average crime rate of 231 per 10,000, compared to 351 per 10,000 in comparable U.S. cities. 34% lower. 34% less violent crime.
And then you guys started importing a bunch of fucking...
Everyone
migrants.
Everyone did.
I know, but you don't have yours under control.
Okay, but you.
That's why your violent crime. That's why your violent crime is on. That's why your violent crime is
that we are safer. Based on that, we're 34% safer from violence.
You went back. No, my guy. You went back to 2004. My data is more recent than your data.
2004 until now. Yeah.
Yeah, your data is less recent than
that. Makes it more accurate. The more data,
it makes it less accurate because it's less of a snap. It's less of a snapshot as to what is happening right now, which is what we're discussing.
And I agree with you about the Canadian, about the Trudeau fucking everything up. I did not vote for Trudeau, as I've said. But I'm saying, compared to the United States, we are 34% safer since 2004.
Now you're just lying.
Simple numbers.
Now you're just
lying.
No, you're lying, dude.
You stretch back into. Hold on. You stretch back into your past when Canada was all white to make your point. That's what you did.
All white, bro.
You were 92% white.
It has nothing to do with white and not white, bro.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. G.
It does
obviously.
Not. It's about
very much obviously.
Okay, are you uncomfortable?
Does poverty cause white people to be violent?
Poverty causes crime because it causes desperation.
Does it cause white people to be violent?
White poor people in the United States are just as violent to other white poor people as is the case within the black community.
Right now.
Not true, my guy. Not true.
ChatGPT right now, bro.
Please do.
No, it does.
Poor communities are generally more violent than not poor communities. It's a very basic
in rural West Virginia.
Okay, that's a little bit of a dumb data point. Okay, rural West Virginia.
Rural communities in Tennessee.
The problem with
not what I'm talking about.
The problem with arguing with Shane is like he's wrong, but he's just gonna keep doubling down on it.
Yeah, and we know it, and we just
we're bored.
So, why do we live so much longer? stronger. You just said we have healthier food and better systems. Doesn't that mean our systems are better?
No.
That was your original.
I said your food supply has less garbage in it. Yeah.
So that's better.
And I think you have better prevention for drug overdose deaths.
Okay, so on those two things, you would grant that we're better.
Yeah, I don't think America is superior to Canada in every single aspect. I just think when you look at the sum total,
what you guys are saying.
No, when you look at the sum total of America versus when you look at the sum total of America versus Canada, I mean they're not even comparable.
You can't exist without.
If you're rich, it's better to be American. If you're middle class, it's better to be Canadian.
Whoa! What's going on here? What's going on here?
We got Tajin.
Who's in it? All right. Let's see.
Average quality of life, if we look at someone like the Fraser Institute, the top 5 countries are always the countries with the most social programs to alleviate poverty. So
show me the design of that study and that calculation.
Yeah, I'm sure it's all just a conspiracy. Why is the United States last? Why is the United States dead last?
It's false data. It's false data. When I was born, I didn't exist until 30 days after my birth. That was reported as a live birth.
So if the data disagrees with you, then it's fake data.
So Cuba is ahead.
That's very convenient.
It's very convenient for the countries who gain the system.
It's very convenient for you who doesn't care about the actual fact on the ground. Because you can just make up the argument.
About the fact
and when the data disagrees with you, you can just say the data is fake.
You don't like me pointing out that these things are set up specifically for specific results. It's false.
I've
met all the Cuban doctors, every Cuban doctor I've ever met. I went out of my way to meet them.
Anecdotally? Yeah, go ahead.
It's not anecdotal.
It is the definition of anecdotal.
I have a lot more ability and time and means than you to do that.
The definition of anecdotal is one person's.
And every single one laughed in my face when you tell them that the Cuban system is better than the United States.
So your anecdotal experience supersedes.
It is not anecdotal. It's reality.
You know what anecdotal means? What is anecdotal?
It is reality.
What does anecdotal?
The stats that are collected are false.
So you don't even know what anecdotal.
To create statistical rankings by the World Health Organization,
literally don't even know
by your
basic
stupid
fact.
Frasers or whatever.
You have no
People
concept.
manipulated to come out with a specific result. They're false.
You have zero concept of what you're talking about.
No, I don't. I have full concept of what I'm talking about.
Anyone with 2 brain cells knows that data is more accurate than anecdotal experience.
It is not anecdotal experience. It is data and reality.
Oh my! Do you know what does anecdotal mean, Andrew? Please tell me, what does anecdotal mean?
You believe falsehoods.
Andrew, what does anecdotal mean? And I'll grant you've won this entire debate.
You believe falsehoods.
Andrew, if you tell me what anecdotal means, you have won this debate. See,
you believe falsehoods.
Doesn't even know what it.
You believe falsehoods.
So you guys will excuse me if I don't respect the opinion of someone who doesn't even know what anecdotal means in these type of.
I know what anecdotal is, but
what does it mean?
Saying is you believe in falsehoods.
What does it mean? Are you pulling up Google?
You believe in falsehoods.
Yeah, you're.
Real pathetic. That's what we are.
I know the definition of words.
Excuse.
I think I'll just mic drop on that one and head out, guys. If we can't define words, I don't know what we're debating here. Really. Andrew, did you pull up Google yet to find out what anecdotal means and whether it's more or less accurate than data?
My guy, I don't need to pull up Google. I know what it means, but you believe in falsehoods.
What does it mean? What does it mean?
Believe in falsehoods.
So you don't even know. You can't even speak English properly.
You believe in falsehoods.
You're just.
I thought you respected immigrants. He got an He believes in falsehoods.
No, I don't care about his accent. I don't care about his accent. I'm talking about his vocabulary.
I'm busting his construct.
He doesn't know what anecdotal means. He's talking about data. It's
I can assure you I know what anecdotal means, but what I'm saying is
you obviously don't.
Believe in falsehoods.
You obviously don't know it.
No, you believe in falsehoods.
Anyone listening can tell you don't know what it is.
Your setup are falsehoods. Your premises are false.
Again, brilliant argument. Brilliant.
It's not an argument, it's a fact.
Yeah, you can't make an argument. You can't articulate an argument because you're not smart enough to understand how to read data. That's the problem.
Listen, I'm a Bitcoin retard. I don't need to be smart.
Exactly.
What you believe is falsehoods.
You said it yourself. I couldn't say it better than you.
You believe in falsehoods.
I don't know, man.
Does anyone have a real position, or?
Bitcoin retards are the smartest guys around. That's my position.
I like Bitcoin. I'm not worshiping Bitcoin, but people like this don't know how to read data and are so arrogant about it.
No, I mean, you're lying. Shane, you
Jimmy, do you think he knows what it means? Jimmy,
yeah, I do. Yeah,
Jimmy, do you think he knows what anecdotal means?
No, but you literally lied in front of all of us.
So you guys aren't engaging. You guys just aren't engaging.
I don't know why.
Can you engage with a single actual point, or like are we just throwing insults?
Why do I have to engage? Why do I have to engage?
I don't have to
That's how you have a debate. That's how you.
My guy, a false premise is a false premise. I'm busting
Yeah, but
for you.
Andre, anyone can say
falsehoods.
Anyone can say that's a false premise, and I don't know what anecdotal means.
You see?
Oh yeah, Andrew.
Here?
My bad. Anyone can say that's a false premise. Oh, and also my experience with talking to doctors is more valid than all the data, which is fake. That's a very stupid argument to make, in my opinion, and most people.
Yeah, you believe in falsehoods, your premises are false, and you're going with them, and then somebody's busting them for you.
All you have to do is look up what anecdotal means and whether it's more accurate. This is not even debate.
It has nothing to do with anecdotal. It has to do with your false premises.
What does anecdotal mean, Andrew?
Falsehoods.
Can we do another meeting on this?
Andrew, did you get to Google yet? What does anecdotal mean?
Dude, you already said the definition.
Yeah, nobody's gonna.
I know, but he's not engaging with it. He's not engaging with it because it defeats his argument.
So why do you?
No, it doesn't.
His entire argument is that his entire argument is that his personal experience is more valid than the data.
No,
Therefore,
that wasn't my argument. That was one of the examples.
Shane, okay. So guys, I know you understand what he said. I don't know why you're trying to strawman his position.
That's literally exactly what he said. There's a recording.
Well, it's because he's trying to diminish me. He's trying to catch me in something which I do know, but I will not entertain that. I will keep busting him in his forehead because he believes in falsehoods.
This is recorded.
Premise 1, he stated, certain countries cannot be trusted in how they report data. Premise 2, when I was born, they didn't even, there was no proof of my existence until 30 days afterwards, in which they claimed, in which they finally, I guess said, you're alive, healthy birth, right? Which then affects their data. So if anybody died within those 30 days, it wouldn't be recorded. That's premise 2. Conclusion, data from certain countries cannot be trusted. That's cogent, that is sound. Nothing is wrong with that position.
Do you think it's accurate to say his experience supersedes the data, though?
No. He made a statement. He said, here's an example of something like this going on.
He said, I spoke to doctors who laughed at it.
These countries, that because they don't have any oversight and they are self-reporting,
you're just rewriting his argument.
Cannot be trusted.
No, that was a different point I made.
You're just rewriting his argument.
Shane, that was a different point. No, that was what I said.
I'm responding to you saying you've spoken to Cuban doctors and they all laugh.
It was a different point. Do you think I was born in Cuba? Where do you think I was born?
That's what I'm responding. It doesn't matter
where do you think I was born.
It doesn't matter.
Where do you think I was born?
Oh my God.
Well,
you're like the king of irrelevant information. Can you engage with what I'm saying?
You're the king of irrationality and falsehood.
Sir, you said you spoke to Cuban doctors and they laughed at you, and that's where you're...
That was a different point.
Okay, and I'm responding directly to that. I'm responding directly to that. That is a ridiculous point.
It was responding to the World Health Organization's health systems rankings.
Yeah, that is a ridiculous...
They claim that the Cuban health system is better than the United States. It is laughable. You have to be beyond a retard to believe that that is true.
Because the guy you met on your travels in Cuba told you that. And we should just believe him.
They lie. It's because they lie.
It's such a stupid argument. It's really such a stupid argument.
No, it's not stupid. It is true.
Some of your other arguments made sense. This one is not.
Objectively, okay, it is impossible for Cuban health system to be better than the United States.
Okay, I'm not arguing it is better. So what's your point?
That was my point. That you can't believe your Fraser Institute or some other fucking bullshit that you're claiming.
Why not?
I'm busting it for you. You believe in falsehoods.
Why can't you believe Fraser Institute?
Because they're false.
Why? Anyone can say that. Can you get a little bit deeper? Why are they false?
I just gave you a couple of examples.
You're literally the king of surface level arguments. You don't have the ability to go a little deeper.
No, I'm not surface arguing. I'm busting your falsehoods. That's
why are they false?
Have you ever heard this? Have you ever heard this saying?
Why are they false?
There's damn lies and there's statistics. That's his point, right? It's manipulated statistics to prove a point by people that are promoting an idea. So public education is something that